What's up, guys? Jason Guyman here tonight, and tonight we're going to talk about permanent lighting, how to price it, how to look at it, how to estimate, how to figure out how to quote for permanent lighting. And so that is what we're going to hit on tonight of permanent lighting and quoting. And I do have something to give away at the end of this. And if you stick around, I will be giving you something that can make you $100,000 for sure. And so I will be giving something away at the end of this. So definitely stick around so you can get the thing that I am giving away for tonight. And with that, tonight we are going to talk about how to price and how to quote permanent lighting, how to make sure that we are making money. I just sold a job this week. A good friend of mine, he just sold a big job this week. And so permanent lighting is starting to pick up. I know I was talking with Porter out at the Lights at Wholesale, and he said that they are definitely starting to pick up. They had like 8 orders today alone. So permanent lighting is something that is starting to take off more and more as we get through the season. And so this is something that if you are thinking about doing but don't know, well, stick around because I will talk about the key factors of how to bid houses. And if you all put a comment in here, the question, I will maybe look at your house or do something along those lines to help you get pricing on that house, or I'll pick a house. I might even just do this house right here that's behind me that we can do. But this is permanent lighting. Permanent lighting is definitely something that you need to do. And so it is. I got my wife and kid looking in the window on me. They're being a peeping Tom. But that is something that you can do to be able to grow your business. So with that, the book of the week. The book of the week is a book that I just started reading. It is a really good book so far. Let me find, I don't know what I did with my phone. Well, I was on my phone. Oh, here's my phone. Sorry. So this is a really good book of the week. I just started listening to it. I think that you will really enjoy this book. It will help you grow your business for sure. And I got to find my books. And the book of the week is Eat What You Kill. Eat What You Kill. And so it talks about it. It's a sales book is what this is. And so it's been a very good book that I've been listening to so far. And so it is definitely something that I would highly recommend you to listen to because if you're wanting to learn how to sell more jobs, this is definitely something that you want to make sure that you are doing. So that way you do not miss out on how to close big jobs, right? And so it is a great book on how to close different jobs and all of that. So with that, we got Sean Taper in the house all the way up from the Newfoundlands, Canada, hi, folks. Hope that everyone is doing great. He said the moose are moving and you can't see them in the snow, so that's never a good thing. I've never seen a moose. I want to go see a moose someday before I go. That is on my bucket list. I think that is a cool animal that is huge, and he's like, they're fast. And so I want to see one someday. I don't know if I ever will, but that is one of my goals, is to see a moose. I just don't want to see the moose in front of my windshield, on top of the windshield, because I have seen what that does, and that is ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly. We got to see what one did to a van in Alaska, and it was not good. I promise you, it was not good at all. So with that, we'll get started here. And again, if you hang out to the end, I am going to give something away that can help you grow your business. And it is something that I'm giving it away completely free. No email, no nothing. You are just going to get it at the end of this. And so I want to help you guys grow your business because I want to help you get financial freedom. Today, I was talking to my wife about our why and what my why is. And really it comes down to, I want to help you all so that you all can get to financial freedom. And so that is my main goal, to help you guys. So with that, what are some key pricings in permanent lighting, right? And here's the thing. Some people call it permanent lights. Some people call it permanent Christmas lights. I don't know what people are going to call it. I do know that a lot of people that type in Google and different things are typing in permanent Christmas lights, and so a lot of times you will hear me call it permanent Christmas lights. I know some people hate on both of them, so that's fine too, but it is what it is, and there is more and more people putting this stuff up. Last year, I only knew one house in my whole area where I knew where this light is. I can probably go take you to about 20 different places right now that isn't too far away from me. So this is starting to take off more and more. In fact, I know that in Utah, you can find 3 or 4 houses in each subdivision that has it on in the middle of July, in the middle of June, when there is no holiday in June. So that is some things that you have to look at when you're doing this. So why do I charge? Why do I charge what I tell you to charge? And the reason why that I'm going to tell you to charge this price range is not because I want you to lose jobs. I don't tell you to price what I'm going to tell you to price so that you lose jobs, because that is not my goal. My goal is to make sure that you are profitable, because if you are not profitable, you will go out of business. You will quit putting this stuff up. You'll quit putting up Christmas lights. And that's my main goal, is help you to become profitable. A lot of people think that you got to do all of these jobs and make little money, and that is not the goal, right? The goal is not to do 1,000 jobs and only make a couple $100,000. That is not the goal. In fact, that is a bad goal. That is a goal to go out of business. And if you want the goal to go out of business, then charge the cheap prices, charge the $20 a foot. That's when you're going to go out of business, because there's no way that you can make money, because this also is a business that it's going to be one and done. It's not like you're coming back and like Christmas lights and you're putting it up every year and you're making $8 to $12 a foot every year. And yes, you can make that in Christmas lights. And so yes, you can make this in what I'm going to talk about, because I have people making this kind of money with permanent lighting. And so it's not me just telling you this. I can show you people that have made you this. I can show jobs that have made this. And so that is what I want to make sure that you understand of it. And so all of our cost is going to be in a couple things. First, our cost of materials, right? You got the lights, you got the track, you got the connections, and this stuff here is, and this is Invisalights. This here is all plug and play. So what this helps with when it's all plug and play is it helps with some of your states that need electrician license, because when you start cutting stuff, technically you need an electrician license. And when I was studying today, some states you still need an electrician license or a low voltage license. If you're in one of the really dark blue states, you're probably supposed to be having a electrician license so that you can install even low voltage. Most of the country, if it's under 50 volts, you don't have to worry about it as much. But where some places you still have to worry about it, and so that's some things that you have to think about. So one is the material cost, right? You got your box, you got your lights, you got everything here that you need. Now this is a 36 volt box here, but you can see this is the box. It's waterproof, keeps the water out. It is vented. It's not 100% waterproof because it's got to be vented. So then that way the heat doesn't get too hot in there. And so this is what that is. So that's what the box is. And so you got to look at how much it costs you. And then the next thing you got to look at is how much does it cost you to install it, right? Here's the thing. Some jobs go really fast. DJ and I did a job right before Christmas, and it took us 2 hours. We were in and out. We pulled up to another job here not too long ago, last month, and we thought it was going to take us 2 hours, and we were on the 2-hour track, and 6 hours later we left, right? Because there was some 6x6 that came out of the house, like here and here and here. And so we had to wrap, well, originally we were going to try to cut up underneath of them and drill up into it and run our wire over, but DJ couldn't get the wire through. So that didn't work. So then we had to bend our metal down and around and up, and it was a pain in the butt to do. And so that is something that we have to think about is our labor costs, because our labor costs will get into us pretty quickly from us thinking this house was only going to take 2 hours to this house ended up taking us almost 6 hours. And this was only a 100-feet house. So that is how you got to think about how you do this. Like I said, the other house, we did it in 2 hours. We had no problems, and bam, we were done. But that house took us a lot longer. So what takes the length, or what takes so long of the houses, you might add? Well, if a houses have a bunch of peaks, that can take time. If you got a bunch of corners, that takes time, right? And some houses you got to go, they'll go here and go up and all kinds of crazy stuff. And so the more peaks and the more cuts you got to do, the longer it's going to take for you to have. Another thing is if you're going to offer a warranty or a maintenance plan, how often are you going to go back? So, some people I know that offer a maintenance plan that, hey, $500 a year, we will come back, we'll maintenance it, we'll make sure the system's up to date, and that keeps your warranty, right? So that is another thing that you can look at by what is your cost of it. Some people just are like, Jason, this stuff only costs $10, $12 a foot. Why not just charge $20? I'm going to make $8. But are you going to make $8? You're probably going to lose your tail by the end of it. And here's the thing. Why do we want to be so cheap that we're going to go out of business? I don't get that, right? And this is a big thing that I see a lot of people fail in, is when they're trying to close the deal. I'll hit on that later, because I got a thought on that too. I'm going to hit on that later. Let me go to the next thing here. So what are some things that we want to do? Do we want to price by the foot, or do we want to price by the job? I will tell you that I'm going to price by the foot, but when I give the customer, it's just going to get an overall price. I'm not going to be like, yeah, we're at 100 feet and that's times $30 a foot, so that's going to be $3,000. Nope, I'm not going to sell it that way. That's not how we sell, right? That's selling the product. And when you sell the product, you're probably going to lose more than you're going to win, right? This is going to look amazing on your house. It's only $3,000, and you can sign right here, and we will have you up on next Wednesday. How's that sound? I don't even give them a rate to say that sounds high, right? Because if they do say that's high, I'm going to look right back at them and say, it's too high? And look at them like that, because I want to know what the real concern is. Because I didn't sell what I needed to sell. I didn't make my offer so much that they want to take my offer, right? So these are some things that you got to look at. Some other things too is obviously we put the bulbs in the peak here. So that's some things. So when we do that, that takes a little bit more time for installation. When we're measuring, obviously we can measure. We want to measure just like we do Christmas lights. It is better to sell this stuff in person. It is way better to go in person to sell. Dustin has been selling Christmas lights online for 20 years. And when he tried to sell permanent lights online, it has not done very well for him. So he's actually, when they went to in person, they got their close rate up a lot higher. So this is something that you do want to close in person, not online. It's just one of those things that you got to make sure that you're selling in person if you can. So some of the problems that you run into is underestimating how long is it going to take. Like I said, the one job we thought was going to take 2 hours ended up taking us almost 6 hours. It took us forever. And it was dark time by the time we done. We had to turn all the lights on so we could see. So we were putting the lights up in the dark, but we turned the lights on so we could keep seeing what we were doing. But that is how you got to adapt and overcome and make sure that you are doing this. Now, One of the things that when we talk about pricing, when we talk about how to quote, one of the things is you got to be confident in your quoting. Here's the thing. I was talking to Daniel. Daniel has closed a very big HOA job. It'll probably be close to a lot of money, almost six-figure job. And here's the deal about it, right? One of the things that you got to think about is you do not have to think about the pricing when you're selling. If you're thinking about the pricing when you're selling, you're thinking about the wrong thing, right? You're thinking about pricing and how can I close this deal? And man, this is going to be expensive, but how am I going to be able to close this deal, right? Versus, you know what, ma'am, this is going to give you safety and security. We know that houses, and then here's the thing, right? We know that most people are type S personality. And one of the biggest things that women need is safety and security. So if I'm selling this to a woman, am I selling it about the lights and how they're IP68 and blah, 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 blah? Or am I telling her this is going to keep the boogeyman away? Which one do you think is going to get you the more money? When you're talking about this bulb or when you're talking about you keep the boogeyman away, right? This house here, they installed this house. When we went and took pictures, they're like, I don't know what it else looks like. I didn't even know it had other colors because I just don't care about the other colors. I like the security lighting and it keeps the house lit up. That's what I like. And guess what? That's what you sell on. You don't sell on, well, Jason, it's IP68 and we make sure we put the bulb in the peak and blah, 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 right? We just spew out bullcrap about the product. You got to sell the benefits. You sell the product, you're not going to sell it. When you sell the benefits, oh my gosh, you'll get whatever you ask for it. Because when they know that you know what you're talking about on the benefits and how this is going to make it look amazing and how it's going to keep your house lit up and how it's going to it's going to give you architectural lighting and it's going to make the house look amazing at nighttime, then guess what? That's going to be a lot better than this is a IP68 and blah, blah, blah. Okay, because nobody cares about that. Only people care about that are type C personalities. And here's the thing. Type C personality is less than 10%. I think it's 12%. 12%. But that's your doctors, your lawyers, your engineers, people like that. So when you go to those houses, you better know your product really good because it ain't about the safety and security. It's about you knowing the product at that point. But that's not majority of the people. We know that 70% of the people are type S personality, and they just want to know that they're going to be safe and they're going to be comfortable and all of that, right? And so those are things that we have to look at to be able to make sure that we can do this. And so one of the things that I'm, like I said, is don't think about the product. When you're in your sales script and you're thinking about the product and the price, you're going to lose out. You're going to be like, if you're like, man, I don't know if they're going to like that product or not. That price is going to be high. It will come out in your sales script that you're not confident and you don't believe in your own product. If you don't believe in your own product, they ain't going to believe in it. They'll sniff that out so fast it ain't funny. So that's why it's important to make sure that we are overcoming those objectives. Now, what about the objectives that we can overcome before we ever get to them? How do we do that? Right? Well, you know what, ma'am? This ain't going to be too bad. This house, don't worry, our bid isn't no more than $10,000. And they're going to be like, holy crap, $10,000. And then you come in at $5,000. Well, 5,000 sounds a lot better than 10,000, right? That's how you overcome that. Or if it's, well, my husband, well, make sure your husband's there. We need to all decision makers when we show up. If I show up tomorrow to give you a quote, can you make the decision? Well, no, I need my husband there. Well, when can he be there? Don't go without him then, because otherwise you're wasting your time and your trip. So those are things that you got to look at to be able to help with that. And then you can offer financing, right? There's companies out there that you can offer financing, so that way you can go finance these people so they can get this out there, right? These are all things that you can do for the permanent lighting. Permanent lighting is a lot of fun. Right? They are a lot of fun. Now, you might say, here's the thing. I don't want to do that, Jason. I don't want to put them up permanently. Well, you can put them up temporary now, right? They got clips for them. You put the clip on there, slide it up on there. Let me put it on the right way. They just pop right in. and then it'll slide right underneath the eave and they point down. Or you can point them out. They got ones that fit on the gutter, then it'll pop right onto the gutter and it'll point it out. They got some that'll pop underneath the shingle and point it out. So there's different ways that we can mount these things and do Christmas lights, right? So now we just extended our Christmas light season. So instead of Christmas lights, what we can do is we could go in here and we can say, hey, you know what? We can put them up for Memorial Day. So now we're putting lights up in August. We can put them up for Memorial Day for $15 a foot and $16 a foot. Put them up in Memorial Day, and they'll be on Memorial Day. And then when breast cancer comes around, we can turn them on to pink. When Halloween comes around, we'll turn them to Halloween, and then we'll turn them on at Christmas time. So now you're getting 5 months worth of Christmas lights or lights all off of one thing in its clip. And that way it's not on their house. We take these down and now they're all off the house, right? And so that's another way you can do this. And yes, you can point these out. And when you point these out, it's almost hard to tell that these are there versus Christmas lights, because the way they shine, you can't really tell the difference. You can if you know what you're looking at, but it is not much different. So this is another way that we can extend the season out. And then what you could do too, especially like this year, because this year has sucked, then what you could do is keep them up for Valentine's Day, and now you got Valentine's lights, right? Hey, you know what? We'll turn them on red for the week of Valentine's for you and your honey. So now we got Valentine's light. Oh, and then you still got snow, because some of you I know just took them down. You turn them on green for March 17th or whatever for St. Patty's Day. And now we go from here to there, and we got lights all year long in the wintertime. And then when we come take them down, put them back up in August, there you go. So these are ways that you can use these to be able to do different lights and to do the different seasons and stuff. So just some thoughts, not saying you have to, just saying some thoughts of ways that you can use this so you can do this. Do I have any pics of them pointing out? I don't have any as of right now. I'm actually going to go put some up on the house. I don't have enough clips to put them up there. I'm going to have to try to make a way to do it. I got clips to put them underneath, but not on the house. And I might be able to make this clip work on the gutter. I don't know. We'll see. So with that, that's what I have for here. Now, I said that if you stuck around that I would give something away, and I am going to give something away for you all. I have been talking about Christmas lights and stuff, and I've also been talking, and I told you I would start doing stuff for AI for you all. Well, I have made a GPT, and so what a GPT is let me show you what it is here. I made a GPT here and I'm going to probably tweak it a little bit, but it's for a viral post GPT. So this is something that you can put up about Christmas lights, and it will make posts for you for your Christmas lights. So you can type in there that I want to make a post about permanent lights and why the security is so important. There. And so you just type it in, and then it will just start telling you what it is, right? A bright home, a well-lit home that can help deter unwanted visitors. Permanent outdoor lighting is not only makes your house look stunning year-round, but it also improves security by increasing visibility around doors, walkways, and driveways. With our permanent light systems, you can customize colors, energy efficient, and safer, upgrade your beauty home. So then you can say, my business name is Bob's Christmas Lights, and we service the Cincinnati area. And now it will put it in there, right? You want a brighter home? A bright home is a safer home in Cincinnati. Did you know? Here's Bob. Call Bob's for Christmas lights and serving surrounding areas. So you can do this. I'm not going to give you this big long number. I did put it in a christmaslights.io/VP, Victor, as in viral post. I will also put it in here for you. christmaslights.io/VP. Let me make sure I spelled everything right, because I felt like I fat fingered something. There you go. So don't say I never give you anything. This is these are 12-inch spacing, yes. And if you have any questions, definitely you can ask away questions here. They did not go out to Facebook. Posted to destination. So I think it went to Facebook. I don't know. But if not, it's christmaslights.io/VP for viral post. So it's just a way that something that I'm giving back to you, so that way you can make here. I'm probably going to tweak it a little bit more on my side. It's not going to change it on your side, I don't think. If it does, I can just change it here. But I'm going to make this a better one for you, so that way you can do it. I kind of came up with this one pretty quick for you to keep it, but I will do more here. I'll probably make it a little bit better here. I didn't do it with a lot of emojis. I may actually add more emojis. I don't like a lot of emojis, but sometimes you have to do what you want to do. So again, play with this GPT. You don't need to be on the paid plan. You can be on the free plan. All you got to do is click it up, and it should bring up that GPT for you. So all you need is an account. You don't need to be on the paid account at all. And so that's how you can use this GPT, so that it can help you write posts. I don't want to hear you saying that you can't make posts, or you don't know what to post, because I'm just gave it to you here for free. So I don't want to hear no complaints of why you can't make money. So that's my rant for it. So I don't see it, christmaslights.io/VP. Well, let me go try it again here. christmaslights.io/VP. Yeah, it come up there. There it is. So christmaslights.io/VP. Are you going to keep updating it ongoing? Yes, I will. I will. The AI is a great tool. I use it almost daily. Me too. Here, you want to see? I got 1, 2, 3 tabs, and I got about 50 other tabs over on this other one. So yes. All right. So if you got any questions on it, let me know. I also do have some training coming up for in-person training. If you want to learn how to do this in person, you can go to christmaslights.io/IPT for in-person training. That way I teach all about how to install and everything. I may have a job for this training coming up in April. I won't have the one that's coming up in a couple weeks. If we do a job, it's kind of hard to get the learning in all the other stuff, all the important stuff. So generally speaking, this is mostly in classroom. You do a lot of cutting, because the cutting part is the hardest part. That is by far the hardest part of doing the job, is cutting the aluminum. But the aluminum is the same color of the house. It doesn't fade. It doesn't break down with the sun hitting it. And so that's the great thing about this here. So if you want to learn Christmas lights or permanent lighting, I'm going to have a Christmas light class coming up in April. I also have some more that I will be putting on the calendar here real soon. As soon as I get them figured out, I'm going to be having them all across the country again. And so I'm excited about that. So go check out christmaslights.ipt, and that's where they will be coming at when I get them up. And if you need to buy lights, christmaslights.io/P or permanent. All right, so hey everyone viewing from Texas. What's up, Sean? How are you doing, Jason? It seems like I need to get into the permanent light this year. It is a good thing. I like it. It is a lot of fun. It is a little challenging. It's not as easy. So some of the things that you got to remember is with the jumpers, you got to use jumpers. So it's not like Christmas lights where you're just cutting it and that's it. So those are some things that when you're doing this, you got to make sure it's the right length. You got to make sure that you got the right, if you're doing Ys, how many Ys you need. So these are all important things that you need to look at for the permanent lights. I do have quite a bit of information on the website if you haven't been over there in a while. If you go to christmaslights.io, I have put quite a bit of information in it. I've tried to break this down and keep it simple because I understand that sometimes this stuff can get complicated. So there is quite a bit of information on here for the Christmas lights. If you want to know what to order, and so you can kind of click that, and there's quite a bit of information in here. It talks about the jumpers, it talks about all the different things that you may need to know about creating it. If you have a job that you have sold and you want me to help me, or you want me to help me, you want me to help you, just send me a message. Send me a message. I will definitely answer your message. You can send it through the chat bubble down here. You can do it that way. You can also do it through, you can text me. If you got a question, you can text it to, what is the phone number here? You can text 855-619-5483. I think you can even call that number and you may get me. I don't know. If not, leave a message and I will get back with you. And I will walk through what you need to be able to help you make sure that you're successful. The last thing you want to do is be too short. The last 2 jobs I was actually short, but I made it work. But it is definitely something that if you need help, don't hesitate to text that number or call that number. It might be sometime, I don't remember if that number will come right through or not. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. I think I've got it set up where it kind of goes to my voicemail, but that at least my assistant always is checking it at least once a day too, and I'm in there every morning. So we will get back to you with your questions if you have any questions for it. If you want to know when I go live on for Christmas lights, text the word light, L-I-T-E, to 855-619-5483, and that way you will be able to see how that is. Between the spacing and between the pebbles is 12 inches, so they're 12 inches apart from one light to the next. Being that these are 24 volt, you know, a lot of times if they're 12 volt, they got to go a little bit shorter or even the lesser voltage, where these are 12 volt or the 36 volt. The 36 volt's actually a little bit brighter than the 24, but you're probably not going to tell the difference much. The difference between the 24 volt and 36 volt is each line can go on a 24 volt, you can put 100 feet before you got to power inject. Or if you do it at 36, it is 200 feet. So you get twice as much to be able to do it that way. So that's the purpose of what the difference is between 24 and 36 volt. You can do a 600 watt box in there, so you can put about 600 lights on there, so you can do 3 channels and get you 600 feet off of that. So those are all things that you can do with the permanent lighting. Do you have a pics with them pointing out? I do not. Those are 12-inch spacing. Yes. So cool. ChristmasLights.io/BP. Christmas Lights BP. Are you going to keep updating it ongoing? I am planning on keep updating it. Yes, I will. I've got some better data. I didn't have good training data for it. I have better training data for it. So once I put the better training data in it, it'll actually be better than what it is. Thanks, Jason. AI is a great tool. Almost use it daily. Hope is all is well. I'm out here in Texas. Question: how would you jump up to a dormer with permanent lighting? So this is a good question. This is where it gets a little tricky. It depends. I know you didn't want to hear that word, but it depends. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. If you can get in the attic, that is the best way to do it, right? Cut up through there, jump up through the attic, and pop it back out. That is the best way to do it. Your other options aren't the best way to do it, but just try to get the same color of wire loom that is the roof, and you run it from, try to keep it, or try to shove it under the shingle. You try to do it, make it look as best as you can. One job I did, we were able to put it all up in the roof and you couldn't see no wires. Another job, you couldn't get in the attic over where those are. So we had to just run it. We ran it straight across and kept it really tight and kind of pushed it up underneath that shingle as much as we could, siliconing it in there a little bit, so then that way it kind of holds it in there. That's not the preferred way to do it, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So that's what you got to look at. I sent you a message last night about Invisilites. Did you get it? Um, I don't. I seen. Did you do it on Facebook? And so I think the questions got answered. And so unless you ask some more questions, I don't know. But that's if not, I can look at it. I don't know where you sent it. I didn't see it come through Facebook on my messenger, so that's what I usually see mostly is there. Sometimes I don't see the other stuff. Uh, what's it? So, um, Christmas. Yeah, you're spelling it wrong. Christmas. Someone Christmas lights. Lights with an S. Make sure you're putting an S on it because if you don't have an S, it will send you to the wrong page. All right. What other questions do you got? So I've also sold another job here recently too. So we've got a couple jobs that'll be going up. Um, it is something that I also got a website that I'm starting to put some SEO stuff in it and trying to get it to start ranking. It is ranking already, but I want to get it ranking more. I'm looking at doing something that if you want it in your area and get those leads, I'm going to try to do whatever I can do to. I don't know what it's going to be, if it's going to be a monthly fee and you get all the leads from there, or if I'm going to charge per lead. So them are the things that I want to make sure that you can see. You said Facebook. I don't have no message from you on Facebook through Messenger. Unless did you do it over here? Um, let's see. Are the permanent lights against the brick? Oh, excuse me. Shoot. What's going on here? Why ain't this working? Where'd my let me see here. Let me change that. Are the permanent lights against the brick or are they out 6 to 9 inches? What's the best look? I prefer the lights at the end of the line instead of up close. The up close, when it's out further, it gives it more of an architectural look. When it's up against the wall, it gives it looks like the upside down cups and it looks like Govee lights. And I personally don't like that. I like this look here where it does have a little bit of a hot spot, but it gives a better color and a better view of the house. It's personal preference. It really is what you want to do. But that's my personal preferences. Is I much rather have it on that house than in the along the other way. So I don't like them up against the house. I like them all the way out. I think they look better all the way out. I definitely think that it does a lot better that way. So that's my opinion. It's just my opinion. So, but I know a lot. This here was done by Lights at Wholesale, by Bright Lights, and you can see how much better. If you do it right up against there and you only have a couple on, it kind of looks dumb. Now, if you have them all on for Christmas lights, it looks okay, but I personally like these. These here are a lot brighter than most of your lights too. Um, I have another set of competitor lights on my house. They come down about halfway, where these shine all the way down. So that's the better part of that. Eric Beck said he agreed with it. Yeah. Where's the best place to hide the power box? The best place to hide the power box, honestly, is in the garage. If you can put it in the garage, that is the best place. Is over here inside the garage. And then what you do is you poke out the wall there and come out, and you can come down through the soffit, and then that way you don't see any lights at all. That's probably the best way to do it. Sometimes it's hard to do that, but my personal opinion, that's the best way. If you can put it on one side of the house or the other, depending on like if there's an AC unit and a box over there, these are waterproof, so they will be bad for you. So that would be the other place that you could think about putting it. But honestly, up in the, you don't want to put it up in the attic because it gets too hot. So you can put it in the garage. That way it kind of stays nice and tidy and it looks all right there. So with that, if nobody else has any questions, I was curious about the outside. Yeah, I think you're going to be fine at that temperature. I don't see no issues. I know the lights are going to be fine, so you won't have no problems. I mean, it's like anything. When it's that cold, everything don't want to work. But I think you'll be fine with it. I know they froze them in water for weeks, so that's in the water, and then they just let them sit in the water container for weeks. So them are the things that definitely are what you can do. So top 5 hardest things to permanent lighting is connecting to the Wi-Fi difficulty. Well, here's the good thing about that, and you are right. The Wi-Fi can be a pain in the butt with the old system. With the new system, you don't even need the Wi-Fi. Yes, you can use the Wi-Fi, but with the new system, you can, if you do use the new system with the Wi-Fi, you can get to use Alexa with it, so you can turn the lights on and off from anywhere you want to and all of that. If you don't use the Wi-Fi and you just use the Bluetooth, it still works very well and you still get pretty far distance. And so that's something that you can think about, that if you're not going to use, I mean, the last job I did, they didn't have Alexa or nothing, so they just used the Bluetooth. So it made it a lot easier to do that versus the old system of getting the Wi-Fi. Because yes, you are correct. Getting out into the garage is a pain in the butt sometimes with the Wi-Fi, because in the garage they usually have 2 double sheets of drywall with an air gap in it for firewalls, for fire rating, and sometimes that internet don't get out through that door. And so that can be a pain in the butt to be able to do that. Invisilights versus mainly on permanent lights. Well, it's like I said, I got both of those sets on my house. One set lights to about right here, and the other set lights all the way down to the ground. I've actually got pictures of both of them. And so I'm just saying what it is. I'm not bashing one or the other, but that's what I'm saying. Also, I mean, I've got a set of Million that's 2 years old, and they don't work right now. I can't even get them on. So if you don't have a system that in 2 years is not going to work, I'm not happy with that, because that's not good. So that's my personal opinion on it. So, and actually I have a set that don't work. My mom has a set that don't work, and DJ didn't have it. He said that worked, but he still don't got them working yet. So that's the problem with that. So, but I'm excited for Christmas lights. I know that Christmas lights is one of my favorite things to do. I love Christmas lights because I know you all make a lot of money off of Christmas lights. And Christmas lights is just a lot of fun. Seeing the magic, seeing kids' faces, seeing the happy person. You know, one of the sets that we had to go do permanent lights, we went back over to their house because they were having trouble with the app. It wasn't their fault of the app. It was basically just something that they wanted to know more about the app. So we went over there and they were like, and they literally said, this was the best investment that we've made in a long time. And they've made a lot of investments. They had a big pool. They had all of this stuff. They're like, we love these lights so much that we play with them all the time. And so this is a little couple that they're in their early 60s, and they love the lights. They absolutely love the lights. And so this is something that makes it fun, and it is exciting and that. So pricing, you can be anywhere from $30 to $60 a foot. I know people that have gotten $55 a foot. I know people that got $50 a foot. I know people that get $40 a foot. I know people that will go down to $25 and $20 a foot. I am not telling you to do that. If you want to be in the profit zone, you need to be at the $30 to $50 a foot. I don't even like giving you a cap. I'd rather you go higher and get that versus me telling you you can only get this and then you don't try to get it at the higher prices. But yes, that is correct. I guess I should have said that earlier and I forgot. But yes, we do want to price it at anywhere from $30 to $50 a foot, $60 a foot. Again, I've gotten guys that have gotten $55, $58 a foot. I know somebody that's got a lot. So it is definitely where you want to be at for your pricing. So with that, again, I gave that Chat GPT away with talks about Christmas or for Christmas lights. I've set it up for Christmas lights. It's not really for anything else. You can talk about permanent lighting. You can talk about Christmas lights, and it will make you there. If you want that Chat GPT, you can go to Christmas Lights with an s.io/VP for viral post. So that way you can start posting about Christmas lights in March right now. You can start talking about Christmas lights in March and April and May and June and July and August and September and October and November and December, right? You can talk about Christmas lights all year long. Do you ever negotiate prices? I don't like negotiating prices. I know some people that will sell it and say, hey, you know what? We're at $35 a foot and we are doing a special of 10% off for the month of March, right? The problem when you start negotiating prices is a lot of times those are the people that will nickel and dime you in the end. And so that's the problem with those types of people. We don't like those types of people. Those types of people suck. So it's kind of going after cheap customers, right? Your cheap customers will be your biggest pain in the butt. It doesn't matter if we're talking about Christmas lights. It doesn't matter if we're talking about pressure washing, landscaping, whatever business you're in. When you get the penny pinchers and they start penny pinching on you, they're probably going to complain all the way through and after. You'll be over at that house 5 times because they wanted a deal. And when you gave them a deal, then you got to go back over there and do it 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So I would not recommend you to start negotiating prices. You know, that's back to when you give a price, you say, you know what, it's just $300 or it's just $3,500. When would you like them installed? And you don't say another word because the next person loses, right? Whenever you give a price and you keep talking, you just lost out. You just say it'd be $3,000 and we can do it next Tuesday. Sign as my friend Rick Newsy will be like, just sign right here and just look at it. You ain't looking at them. Just sign right here. Right here. Just sign right here. That's all you got to do is sign right here. Right? Give me a 50% deposit down, and then the 50% is after the fact, after the job is done. So that's how you can definitely do this and not get screwed, right? So that's what my opinion is of it. But other than that, hopefully you all, if you are doing pressure washing, if you aren't doing just Christmas lights full time, and did you know, yes, you can do Christmas lights full time. I know several people that do $1 million businesses that all they do is Christmas lights. And so you can do Christmas lights full time. They are a lot of fun. It is exciting to see Christmas lights. Every Wednesday night, I will be on here talking about Christmas lights or marketing or permanent lights for the next March. So the next 10 months, I will be talking about Christmas lights on this channel on Wednesday nights. I am starting to put a bunch of videos together also of how to do stuff. I will be putting videos on how to do marketing. I'll be doing videos on how to do permanent lighting. I'll be doing videos on how to do Christmas lights. So if you see those videos and you want to help me out, watch them, give me a thumbs up, give me a comment, and I'll probably respond back to you. But that is a way that you can help me out if you want those ways to help me out. If you want to go check out and need some Christmas lights, you can go christmaslights.io/P, get your permanent lighting. And so with that, hopefully you all have an awesome week, and it is getting time for pressure washing season. If you are doing other things, the grass is starting to turn green. It's starting to grow. I finally seen some green grass today. So this week of 70-degree weather is definitely going to get it going for you guys that are doing other things. So with that, I hopefully you all have an awesome night, and we'll see you all later, and see you next Wednesday. And don't forget, I also come on Sundays sometimes, talk about marketing. So see you then if you don't see me later. I'll catch you all later.